Hi everybody, this is Mr. Taylor. Let's talk about managing your money. We are again Unit 7. This is Module 16.3, Explore Activity, exploring different methods of payment. Well, we should definitely understand where this is taking us. As a student, you will research the similarities and differences between different type of methods of payment, stored value cards, which is also known as prepaid cards, debit cards, and credit cards. So just for the sake of understanding, we do have these vocabularies here for you, and I will get to them momentarily. We should already have some concept of what we're talking about. Everything now is going to prepaid phone service, pretty much prepaid everything. But let's see what the author wants us to know as we begin this lesson. A stored value card is just a card that you put money on it from your bank, credit union, or you can go into Walmart and see a gift card or whatever and just say, well, let me put this amount of money on it. And when you use a card to buy something, the cost of what you are buying is deducted from the card. Some of these cards are fixed. Let's say if you want to go in and buy a $50 Visa to send to your friend or your uh, as a birthday present to one of your friends in college or in a different state or whatever. These values are fixed and you can't restore money on these. But some are not. Some are definitely done from the local bank, and you can just go back in as the card expires and put more money on it. The next one we want to look at is a debit card. And a debit card is, some people call them bank cards, uh, ATM cards, and it's just a plastic payment card. It's really the same thing as a check, but it provides the person that holds it, access to their bank account as long as you have a PIN. And for the most part, these funds are withdrawn immediately from the person's account, and then in some cases a fee is charged. And if the funds are not available, then you will be charged an overdraft fee similar to writing a check that's insufficient. Third type that we want to look at is a credit card, and it's a payment card issued to users as a system of payment. Normally, they're charged an interest rate or a particular rate for borrowing this money, or to pay for the goods and services. You buy it and pay later, in plain words. And most of the time, these cards are giving you a line of credit, to be able to for merchants, and you can use these cards also for cash advances. So what we want to do in this explore activity is let's you, the student, do a little research and explore the different payment methods. So as we just said, there are several ways to pay for goods and services, and we did so without naming cash because we just talked about cash. Uh, well, it says here cash, it's good old dollar bill, y'all. Stored value cards, debit cards, credit cards, money orders, checks, and so forth. We're just going to use this particular lesson to talk about 3 different ways. So if you could, what I want you to do is go ahead and put the video on pause and go to your Google search and research the similarities and differences between stored value cards. Remember, these are also known as prepaid cards, debit cards, and credit cards. Once you do that, tell me what information is on each card, and when you use a stored value card, debit card, or credit card, the money you spend is coming from different places. So where is this money deducted when you use these cards? And also, what are some common uses for this stored value card? So go ahead and pause it and then come back and let's see if you can match up with the sample answers that I have. Okay, so if you're back, then you've already did your research. So what I found out is when we look at these three different cards, how are they similar and how are they different? Well, they're all plastic, they're all rectangular, similarities. Generally, debit and credit look alike. They have a little Visa, MasterCard logo on them. But debit cards will say debit and credit cards will say credit. In some cases, with the Visa, MasterCard debit, you have an option of doing debit or credit. The only difference is you have to interact your PIN number or signature. But if it's a debit card tied to your bank account, it's still going to come directly out of your funds. And prepaid cards often comes in many colors and designs as well. So what's the information? What information is on each one? So a store value card, you have an account number, name of the bank, or the store name. Debit card, you have the account number, name, expiration date, and that name is your name. Credit card, you have the account number, your name, expiration date, and in some cases a photo. In some cases. So C asks, when you use a stored value card, debit card, or credit card, the money you spend is coming from different places. So where is this money coming from? Store value, since that fixed amount is put on the card at the time of purchase, the amount on the card goes down with each purchase. Debit card, that money is automatically taken from your checking account, from your bank account, or your savings account. Credit card, that the credit card company is going to pay with the premise that you're going to pay them back at a future date. Okay, and give me a minute. Let me pull this down just a little bit. And it asks, what are some common uses for store value cards? Well, like we said earlier, birthday, holiday gifts, long distance phone, or fares on the public transportation system. All of these are just some examples of stored value cards. So again, a little research. Do you need to have an account at a bank to have each type of card? E, research the fees associated with each type of card, such as activation fee, ATM fee, annual fee, late payment fee, and describe these fees associated with each type of payments. Go ahead and stop it. Again, do a search, Google search for me, see what you come up with. Okay, do you need an account to have an account at a bank to have each type? You will need a bank account to have a debit card, and you often get a credit card through a bank, but you don't necessarily have to have an account to have a credit card. Prepaid cards can be purchased with cash. Okay, so what about the fees associated with these cards? Well, store value cards, if you're going to use this card at an ATM, the ATM company is going to charge you a fee for getting this particular card. Uh, Normally also that they charge activity fee, inactive fees, activation fees when you first purchase the card. Debit card, unless you're using the bank that you actually got the card from, if I have a Chase card and I want to go to Bank of America, for the most part, Bank of America is going to charge me a fee to use that ATM, and then of course the overdraft fee if the card is used and there's enough money in your account. And then credit card, you have an annual fee if you try to draw money out. Then you have an ATM fee, late payment fee, and interest charges. Okay. So again, after you did your research, you went in and gotten all this information, think about these two questions. What are the advantages and disadvantages of using a credit card? And what are the advantages and disadvantages of using a debit card? Go ahead and pause it. Think about those two questions and then come back once you uh, completed your answer. Well, advantages. They're widely accepted, both uh, the credit card actually. You can buy things before you have the money. Disadvantages is the charges and fees that's associated with these particular cards, with the credit card, and you're spending money that you don't have. So now you're raising the risk of getting into debt. So what about the advantages and disadvantages of a debit card? Well, you don't have to carry around money. It's safe, but you have to be aware of what you're paying because there is identity theft out there. You have to be really, really, really aware. I was told once that there are people with scanners that can scan your pocket, your wallet, and get your information from your card. Disadvantages: you need enough money in your account to cover what you're trying to buy, or you might get that overdraft cost. So the last thing here, as we getting ready to close out, is identify the methods of payments used in each transaction as a stored value card, a debit card, or a credit card. So you have three questions. Stan buys a television and pays for it over the next 3 months. Ingra buys a cup of coffee and the money is immediately withdrawn from her bank account. And Yoon used the $20 bus pass to ride the bus. Okay? So go ahead and stop it, come back, and check your answer. Okay, so Stan buys a television and pays for it over the next 3 months. That's a credit. He's paying for it at a future time, so he's using a credit card to do that. I know you may think, well, what about his debit? No, that money's going to come directly out of his debit. If it was a store value card, it would be deducted too. So Ingram buys a cup of coffee and the money is immediately withdrawn from her bank account. That's a debit card. The difference between that and the stored value card is not it is that stored value money is prepaid onto the card and is not tied in with her bank account. So that would definitely just be debit. And Yoon uses a $20 bus pass to ride the bus. So that's stored value. As his money goes out, then he will go back to the kiosk at the bus, say Dart, and say, I need to put more money back on this card. All right. So that's what we have for this particular lesson. Pretty interesting, just pretty much information for you as we go forward. Um, Guys, I really appreciate your effort in looking at this. So again, if you haven't subscribed and this is helping you, please do so, because this is just the new 8th grade math that the state of Texas are requiring now. I know most of us have taken our STAR exam, but this gets us ready for real life activity. Again, subscribe if you haven't done so, and you want to leave a comment, something you may need or something that you may see, do so. This is Mr. Taylor, and I'll talk to you soon.